Students, let us learn about few terms in the Greek society. First one we will come across, that is metics. Now metics were the aliens or the foreigners. The Greeks used to call the metics, the foreigners, as metics. Next term we come across, that is hectemoroi. Now hectemoroi were the very poor peasants who used to work in the lands of other peasants or landowners, and they used to pay the 1/6 part of the produce for in return for using their land. And in Sparta, the slaves were called as helots, and in Athens, they were known as tithes. Uh, I had already discussed about the slave markets. Now, slave markets were the places where the slaves were bought and sold. Now, Chios was the first city-state which had developed a slave market, and Delos was the largest slave market of ancient Greece. Now let us move towards the social system of the important city-state Sparta. Now Spartan society was divided into three classes mostly. First one was the Spartiates, second Periokoi, and the third one the Helots or the slaves. Now Spartiates were the original citizens. They were the citizens of the city-state of Sparta. Why they were the citizens? Because they were the direct descendants of the Dorian Greeks, and they had all kinds of socio-political facilities or privileges, and they did not have any other duties towards the society other than serving militarily. That means they used to serve the army. Each and every Spartites had to serve the army. From the very childhood, they were trained in warfare, and they had to serve the army of Sparta. Now, by the time 480 BC, it was the number of Spartites in Sparta were 8,000. But by 371 BC, their number had reduced to only 1,000. So that is why it is said that the foreigners or the slaves, they could not dominate the Spartites. That is why they treated their slaves very strictly, in very strict hand. I have told that they had all kinds of citizenship rights. That means all social and political rights belong to the Spartiates. Now, next category of people in the society were the Periokoi. Now, Periokoi were also the Dorian Greeks, like the Spartites. They used to occupy small towns and villages, and they could govern those towns and villages independently. But they did not have any power in the Spartan administration. The Spartan administration was totally controlled by the Spartites. Though Perikois were the Dorian Greeks, but they were not like the Spartites, because Spartites were the direct descendants. They came directly free from the Dorian Greeks, and they considered themselves superior most in the classification of the society. Now, they were under Spartan supervision and had to serve in the army. They also owned lands, but the best land was secured for the Spartites. The best piece of lands were secured for the Spartites. Now, they used to be very wealthy, the Periocois, but could not have any kinds of, I told you, political rights. Now they were, you can say that they were somewhat, they were the half citizen, not the full citizen. Full citizen were the Spartites. Now Periocois, they had some social rights, but they had no political rights. They were free. Unlike the Helots, the slaves, they were free, but they were not at par with the Spartite. Next we come across now the Periocois work. Now they were the craftsmen and the traders, or they used to serve the state in the warfare. Military service was essential for them, like the Spartites, and but they had to remain under the supervision of the Spartites. Then next, in their role, as I have told, that they were subordinate to the Spartites, though they were free, but they had to remain under the Spartites, for they could never become citizens. But they did not revolt any time, because they were like friends with benefits. They did not revolt against the Spartites because they used to get some kind of concession from the citizens. That is why it was a peaceful coexistence for the Periocois. Next we move on to the Helots, or the slaves in Spartan society. Now they were the most exploited class in the society. Mostly they were the original inhabitants of Sparta, because when the Dorian Greeks attacked Sparta and occupied that area, they enslaved the original inhabitant and turned them into their slaves. They were the possession of the state. They belong to the state, not personal slaves, but the slaves of the states. In Sparta, everything belonged to the state. And they lived in the lands of the Spartan citizens, to whom the state used to assign. That means the state used to give the Spartan citizens number of slaves. It was not the citizen that bought or made someone a slave themselves. No, the state would decide whom to give as slave to which citizen, and how many slaves that citizen should keep. That was also decided by the state administration. They had to give up some of their produce to their masters. Remaining produce they used to keep with themselves. The children of the slaves or helots automatically became the helots. Now their number increased in considerably. I have told that the number of Spartites or the full citizens declined drastically, but the population of the slaves increased more and more, and it became a, a, a concern. It became a concern for the citizens. And they worked, all the work was done by the helots. They mostly used to cultivate the farms of the citizens, but they used to work in the mines and other places also. And there, I told you that their treatment was not at all nice. They were cruelly treated. They, in order to control the slaves, the Spartans used to wage war against them from time to time, so that they could show their power, and the slaves would not dare to revolt against the state and the Spartans. There were the special police to keep a watch on the helots, and then the watchful, it could be say as the watchful hostility. But the great slave revolt had broken up in the year 464 BC, because the slaves were so badly treated. And it is said that this revolt was partially responsible for the decline of Sparta.